Okay. Been filming. Okay, I took a little intermission, listen to songs and stuff, man. I'm a music junkie. I love music. I'm sorry, everybody knows it. It's just how it is. Anyway, it goes. So, we're talking about how I'm a non-threatening person in a threatening world that makes me a madman, and how I feel like if you live in a threatening world and you're not threatening, then that means that you could possibly be helpful. And if you're helpful, that means that you could possibly enjoy being helpful. And if you enjoy being helpful, then that means that you are aware of the immaterial positive consequences of being helpful, and probably more ignorant or not in tune or attuned to the negative consequences of being a very helpful person, or you just don't care because you really grasp the importance and the positive consequences of being a good person. Therefore, those people in history that come out and actually are good people on a strong level, like they do the utmost good at all times as much as they can for fun, not for profit, where nothing's really for profit, and they're just out there just doing great, and they get popped off before they could finish out what they were trying to do. Now, maybe they didn't fully know what they were trying to do. Like, maybe they were just winging it, or maybe they just started, or maybe they just started getting good and comfortable in the position. Like with JFK, man, they took him out like a year after the Cuban Missile Crisis, and they say that that's when he matured and he really stepped into his own. Like he had a few moments in his presidency where he really stepped out into his own that really defined him. And number one was, of course, what he walked into. JFK walked into Vietnam, and the Cuban Missile Crisis was after. It was something else. It was, the Bay of Pigs. He walked into Vietnam and the Bay of Pigs. Vietnam was already going on for at least 2 or 3 presidents before Kennedy, and that's just now becoming evident to the public, and that's something that's changing everything a little bit, because it's like, okay, you can't blame Kennedy for Vietnam because Eisenhower knew about Vietnam. Whoever came before Eisenhower, Truman and Hoover, they knew about Vietnam. You know what I'm saying? That's how sneaky this world is, man. Evil world. So JFK, he just started to come into his own after the Cuban Missile Crisis. That's when he was like really like he. That's when they really, I guess it took a toll on him. But he was like becoming that guy. Like he was facing so many important crises during his 2 years term, his 3 years, you round it up. During his 3 years, he faced so much controversy. Not even controversy, man. That too, but so much real. Sometimes controversy is just not real, but it can be real. But he just faced so much real conflict and real decision making. Like, he had to make some real decisions, and he made some very fine decisions. Like, if you really went back and studied what he was really trying to do, man, you should get mad, because had that happened, had what he wanted to happen actually happened, the world would be like so much better, like less evil. Like, man, I don't even really want to get into it, but I have to, because these are my death tapes. So it's like this, man. I'm obsessed with this whole train of thought right now. The whole political movement, the whole making a difference, the whole not caring if you get popped in the head in front of your wife in a convertible, in front of the whole world on camera, in front of live people. You know what I'm saying? I just really, okay, we got 5 minutes left. Okay, I feel like those people like that who did not get a chance to carry out their mission or carry out their purpose, or they carried out their purpose, because I do believe that whenever you die, that's when you were meant to die. So I feel like wherever you're at when you die, that's where you're always going to be at, or whatnot. That's where you're supposed to be at. So I do believe that, it was meant to happen that way, but at the same time, their intentions were not ever fully realized. And while you could say, yeah, I guess it wasn't meant to happen then, huh? But No, man. These people had some great things they were trying to do, and it was evil. They were not shot in the head by God. You know what I'm saying? Like, God may have allowed it to happen, but he did not pull the trigger. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got forces that permit evil things to happen, but you still got the evil people that did it, man. And we live in this like evil world. So it's like this. JFK died before he could fully fulfill his plan. The final frontier. I call it the final frontier. Oh my gosh, I hope you're laughing. That's so dumb. I'm not even a Star Trek fan, man. It's the freaking new frontier, man. I called it the final frontier. It's going down to history. That's funny. Okay, the new frontier. God died. He died before he could fulfill the new frontier. Then you got MLK. Same thing, before he could really fulfill what he was trying to do. And it's like, and it's really, I want you to look at it from that person's point of view. Like, what do you think JFK was going to do if he was still alive? Or if he lived out his term and he served his second term? So he would have been president from 1960 to 68 for the whole decade of the 60s. Like, what do you think he would have done? And then his brother RFK was going to be the president after that, from 68 to 72, and then till about the end of to 76 or whatnot. And he probably wouldn't have resigned like Nixon did. You got to think about it. Oh man, this gets so deep. I don't want to get into all this right now, but I'm outside in the open pretty much by myself. This is the best time to talk about this subject. I'm very passionate about it. It gets me very angry, and it's kind of the basis for this project. This is kind of what really stirs this project. The fact that I've been researching for the last year or so these great people who were doing great things with their lives, and they were taken out in their own respective primes, in the prime of their work and what they were doing for mankind, and they were taken out in the midst of that fervor, and the revolution just died. And I only keep saying that because I want to just spark it back up. If you doubt what I say when I say the revolution is dead, then I want you to spark it back up. Like, this is the spark right here, because this is the first time where somebody is actually going to be able to fully express their thoughts and intentions for societal change. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, these are great men that had great capacities to think and reason and ration and have logic. They had great logic, and they had great emotional reserve and control, and great emotional capacity to love and great compassion. So, and there's a lot of people out there that have those things, but for some reason, I guess they're missing the one fundamental component, and that's the willingness to use those other components for good, and to really help, and to really just stay not compromised, or stay uncompromised, and really effective. We got a minute, 30 seconds left. Okay, so this will be the first time in history, or the real most modern account, really exactly what I end up doing. That would be the first time that was ever done in history. Whatever I end up fully doing, but for the most part, this would be the most modern account of something like this ever happening, of somebody actually documenting their perspective and their intentions and their thoughts intelligently, and like documenting it on audio and video and on paper and all different formats, just having it documented to be released after their death, of their thoughts and their intentions and their plans for societal change. And it's basically just going to be a super blueprint that you could pick up and run with, and that's the intention. I want people to pick this up and run with it, because I'm dead and I can't do anything about it, but at least I was smart enough to sit down somewhere and actually document everything. Like, I'm milking my brain. I'm gonna give you all the secrets I have, man, but right now we're in the first 3 hours, so right now I'm really just trying to get the introduction over with. So when I just start going into all these deep topics after deep topics after deep topics, you already feel like you really have a firm grasp of what I am trying to do, and you're not thrown off by it, and I want you to feel like you know me well enough to listen to me talk about stuff that's gonna just smack you all day. You know what I'm saying? Because